Welcome back to Crafted by Corie. If you're new, I'm Corie. Welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, thank you so much as always for being here. You mean the world to me. I have a Canva tutorial for you today. It's a little bit of a Canva 101. Let's go ahead and get right on into it.
All right, here we go. So we are on the Canva website and I am already signed in. And you can see up here you have the create a design and you can click on that to get started. But before we do that, I just want to show you they've got all of these different templates for everything you could possibly imagine, features that they will walk you through. I mean, you've got everything from backgrounds to weather icons to postcards and business cards, custom mugs, QR codes, you name it, Canva likely has it. And I call this graphic design for dummies because I am not a graphic designer, but it really enables me to create pretty much anything that I want to create. And it's got all kinds of templates to help get you started. So it has suggestions. You might want to try a video or a YouTube thumbnail. Some of these you might recognize as things that I have done recently. But there's so much here. It really is amazing. Over on the left panel, we have the menu. So home, your projects, templates, things that people have shared with me. So there's all kinds of stuff here, right? So if we go in and let's start with a template. So if we go to templates, discover templates. So now you can search for a template and they have all of these suggestions here. So Facebook posts, Instagram stories, Instagram posts, Facebook covers, again, you name it, they have it. So let's just pick ooh, I went a little too far. Let's just pick, let's do a flyer. Okay, so you can search for it, but I'm just gonna pick it like that. And you can make these custom sizes. So if you see over here, they have this right now in centimeters, this one, or they've got it in inches. So they've got an 8.5 by 11, 5.5 by 8.5. But again, you can create custom sizes here. So I'm just going to do 8.5 by 11. And they've got all different kinds of styles: modern, minimalist, simple, happy, illustration, elegant. You can view more. They've got themes. So I am going to actually search for farmhouse and see what comes up. Farmhouse templates. So they've got all of these different things that you can start with. That you have to be careful because if these are designs that are already created in Canva, you can't just take these designs and put them on a t-shirt, for example, and then go and sell that t-shirt. That is not permitted. But you can take the template and make it your own, right? So you can customize this template. It shows you who created it in the first place. This is a minimalistic logo for farm with landscape and house. So now I'll also highlight this. This is a pro design. So Canva Pro subscribers get this template for free. I am a Canva Pro subscriber. I believe it's about maybe $110 a year for the subscription. And I went ahead and paid for that because they have a lot of other options for you when you subscribe. But you can also do things one-off. So if you wanted this, you're not a subscriber, and you just want to use the free software, you can still customize this. And then there's just a small charge, I believe, when you want to go and actually download it. But so you can see here all of the different elements. We can make this a custom size. We can change any of these elements. So if we wanted, instead of this to say the Greenland, I just double clicked on it. And I can say, let's say farm to table. Oops. Okay. And then I'm going to click away, and you can see it just replaced that text really easily with what I put in there. Farm to table. Um, how about eat at Joe's? I don't know. I'm just being silly and trying to show you how you can make this different. Now we can also make the background on here different. We can also animate it apparently. We can copy it, paste it, delete it. But if we click on here, and I'm going to come over to backgrounds, and I can change the background on this to be one of these fun, oh, I like the denim, one of these fun backgrounds, or we can, make it a different color. We can make it a gradient. It can be really your imagination will take you wherever you want to go with this. I mean, here are food ideas. So clearly chocolate isn't farm to table necessarily, but look at those fun berries. I'm not even sure what kind of fruit that might be, but obviously we would need to do something different here. Perhaps we would add an element. So we have elements here, and I can add a shape, right? And I'm going to make this the same size as my picture, and I am going to send it backward. I think maybe my words are the same shade, so that's not really helping me right now, but I'm going to click on this and change the color to white. Okay, and then I'm also going to make it transparent. So if I can remember how to do that here, let's see. There is a way to do that. I think maybe I need, here we go, transparency. See this little button over here for the transparency? And it's a sliding scale, so we can make it lighter or darker. But do you see how, so that original image, if we've got it completely transparent, right, we lose our words, but we can kind of bring that in. We can have that kind of in the background and just have that nice fun element behind it. We can also make this larger just by grabbing any of these circle areas at the corners, right? We can make these bigger. We can also change the font. So right now it's using Allegria. Hopefully that's how you say that. But look at all of these fonts that they have for you to choose from. I use Woodland a lot because I just like the font. I think it's a pretty font. But you can use whatever you want, whatever makes your heart happy. This is like a creative dream because you can just come in here and play with it and pick a whole bunch of different fonts or designs or backgrounds, anything that you really want, right? This is Code Pro. And anything that you see that has the little crown on it, it's the Canva Pro, right? So I also use Gaggelin a lot. I like Gaggelin. I'm not sure why. It's kind of a fun name, but so I've got those like that and like that. And then I can also, if I hold down my Shift key, I can click on another one and now they're both selected, right? And so I can also bump up my font size if I want to. And I did that together because I wanted them to grow at the same rate. And I'm just kind of positioning it in the middle. But now if I want to make sure that they're completely lined up, what I can do is click Shift, hold that down again, and now I'm going to do alignment. So this is line spacing. I don't need to worry about that right now. I will show you that in a moment, but position, here we go. So I can move it forward, backwards, top, middle, bottom, left, center. So I'm going to center these both, and now they're aligned, both of them in the center, right? Now, if I start doing it to the top, do you see how that moved it all the way up? I don't want that. So I'm going to click on undo, which is right over here. Hopefully you can see what I'm clicking on. I need to figure out how to highlight my mouse so that you can see where I'm going. But if I want to just make sure I position this, and do you see that pink square that comes up? That pink square is showing me where the center of the design is, right? And then the line going through the center, right? That's the center margin also. So it's telling me I've got it lined up in the center. And if I move left and right, there's a vertical line as well. So those are the guidelines for the center marks. So here I can let it go because I had that cross going through my center. And I know that everything is centered there. Now, if I want to, I can make this larger, or I can switch it out with a different photo. Yeah. So let's see, if we go over to photos over here on the left-hand side, and we can look for farm. We could do modern farmhouse. Well, but we don't really want an actual picture, right? We want a sketch. All right. And maybe it's actually not a photo that I want. Maybe it's an element. Let's look for farmhouse under elements. That would make sense to me, actually. There we go. All right. So they've got all of these different designs that we can drop in here. And it's interesting that these are white with a black background. And I'm wondering if we can recolor something like this. But let's drop this in. I'm going to delete this one for right now. And let's see if it will let us change the color. And it does. It absolutely does. So depending on what kind of color you want to have on here, you can really make it whatever you want. And you can see I've actually even created my own custom colors for my Crafted by Corie brand palette. These are the colors that I try to use for my brand. So you can set that up for yourself as well if there are particular colors you always like to go back to, or if you have a brand that you're trying to promote, you can completely set up your palette colors. So anything that you desire as far as the look and feel of this goes. But again, you can just come through and play with it, right? Let's try this one and see. Aha, okay, so on the side here, you can see it's got a black background with the white text, but as soon as I brought it over, it reversed it. And I'm not really sure why that is, but it just might be some of the settings that I have on my computer. But see, again, I'm bringing up the cross. So here I know it's centered from left to right. If I bring it up, I get the other horizontal line showing me that I've got it in the center, up and down vertically as well. So I'm centered horizontally and vertically. I can let go. And then I could go ahead and I could print this if I want. I can also, if I go to File. Now, the neat thing about this program also is it saves as you go. So you don't have to be worrying about saving your work. It will save whatever you have done. But if I come in here to File, I can save it to a special folder if I want to create folders. And see here how it says all changes saved, because it's automatically saving in the background. Let's go ahead and search for a flyer again. Okay, and let's do this one. Hello, May. Look at how cute this is with all these fun little flowers. So it's got hello. This is in this particular font, Katie, Birdie. I'm not really sure how you say that, but that's the font that they're using for the hello. And May, they're using Amsterdam too. And then they've got these sweet flowers, and I'm trying to figure out if this is a background. It might well be a background, but I am not sure. So here you can see it actually might be a photo or a sketch of some sort, and they're using just this middle section of it. So that's another interesting way to set a special background and have it fun. You could create your own stationery doing this. I mean, the sky is the limit with Canva, you guys. But perhaps we don't want to use this one. Maybe we want to use this one. Look at how sweet that is. So I think that actually is a background because, see there? So the other flowers, I believe, were a background as well, but because of the shape of this design, it has cropped the background. This is so sweet. I absolutely love it. Now you could also, again, you can change what it says on here. So maybe we want to say Happy Mother's Day, right? You could create your own card designs doing this. How beautiful is that? I'm not ready to share the design yet, but I can share it. I can copy the link. And this is a new thing as far as I'm aware. And so I might actually be able to start sharing some of my designs as a link for you guys in my description boxes. But this is also how you download. So if you click on the big share button, you can download it right here. And they'll allow you to download it as a PDF, and it suggests the best way to download it, right? But it can be a JPEG, a PNG file, obviously a PDF, an SVG. So SVG is where what you're going to be using if you use a Cricut, right? They use SVG files. You can download videos, an MP4 video. That's the type of file that we upload to YouTube. When we upload our videos to YouTube, they are MP4 files. And you can also do a GIF, which is a short clip with no sound. So they're all different ways that things can be downloaded. And if we wanted to animate this, let's see what it says about animating. So, did you see how it moved when I went to rise? So it's basically animating the words on here for us with different ways of animating. Kind of fun, right? So, and this is for photo movement. See the photos moving? Photo rise, photo zoom. You can slide in and out, pan, drift. How fun! So just really cute ways to animate your designs. They have changed this a little bit and it hid it from me. So I saw Canva Pro here, but I knew that I was a Canva Pro person. I didn't realize this is actually a menu item and it's in here. So resize, this is where I can resize it. I can change it from millimeters to centimeters to inches. And so I am going to change this to 8.5 by 11 and resize. So now my design is 8.5 by 11 as opposed to an A4 design, which is what it started out as originally. And if I go back to see if my changes are saved, you can see all changes saved yet again. So we are all set on that. And so if you don't have Canva Pro, and if you want to be able to resize something from, perhaps you created a YouTube thumbnail and you want to make an Instagram story with the same design, all you need to do is start a new tab with it. So you can see here, I've got my original, my A4, and it copied it to an 8.5 by 11. So what I can do is start over with a new template here. Let me close this. I have my flyer. right? Perhaps I'm going to do a format of 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm just going to do create a blank one. All right, so this is my 5.5 by 8.5. And if I want to have this design resized to that size, I can just come in, copy, paste, copy, paste, and just move all of the elements from one side to the other. So if you don't have the Pro version, you can still resize your designs. It just is a matter of copying and pasting your elements over. Okay, so what else can I show you? There are a lot of fun things you can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this. We're going to start with a blank template here. And I am going to add in, let's do a shape of some sort. I've got my heart. And again, I can change the color if I want my heart to be red. I can add text or other graphics on top of it. We can make this, let's see, let's replace our background. There we go. So our star is now on the background, but I decided I don't want to do that. I'm going to undo that. And let's see what we can do. Edit the image. Now it doesn't have a background, so we don't need to worry about that, but we can edit the brightness, right? So do you see how it's changing the actual color with the brightness? We can also do the contrast and get this to the color that we want, saturation levels, right? And then they have all kinds of filters additionally. So epic and festive and summer. You can leave it as you want, afterglow. And you're going to notice that you can use these with all of the any pictures that you upload as well. So whenever I am doing my shout out little clips, so I have all kinds of pictures that I've uploaded of your projects that you've sent to me, and perhaps I would drop one of these in, and hopefully my sweet friends don't mind me using their pictures as an example, but I think Rose probably won't mind. And this is something that Rose, whoop, I hit it twice. Rose had shared with me recently. And let's see what we do if we remove the background on this. So if I'm going to edit this image, there's this background remover. Now, again, this is a pro element, so you have to have Pro in order to be able to do this. But when we do that, it should remove everything except for the heart shape that we have here. So let's see what it does. It just takes it a moment. The computer is thinking about what's background and what's not. Okay, so it did a pretty good job. We can see there's a little bit here that it didn't really know what to do with. So there's an erase button here that we can come in and just get rid of that extra little bit that it didn't quite remove. And I don't typically remove the backgrounds on your projects. I like to leave those alone because, you know, it's your work, and I don't like to touch it too much. Now, if I accidentally, you know, hit a little bit there, I can also restore it. See there? So if I took off a little bit too much, how about that? So, and then we can also show the original image, but I'm going to be done with this. And now back to adjusting with the brightness. I usually do on your video, on your pictures that you send me, I will adjust the brightness a little bit, and the contrast. I usually have this one at around 30, 36 looks good, and then 15, and then about 30 again. But do you see how that just brightens it up a little bit? Because sometimes when we take pictures, the lighting isn't always great. And so Here, I'm going to put this back next to it again so you can see the difference. You see the difference here? Let's resize this a little bit. So it just brightened it up a little bit, and you can actually see the work that Rose did on this a little bit better. So just some neat tricks with the Canva system. So looking here, this is something that I had done recently. I'm not sure where my picture went for the one that was actually up on the wall, but you can see here I was standing, I was looking at it down on my table, and I can edit that image again, remove the background from it. It's going to think really hard about it for a second, and then it's going to clear out all of the background. So that's what they refer to when they talk about cutouts in Canva. So it just takes the background out. Now you can see there it did cut out a couple of pieces here that are meant to be in there. So I would just want to go back and redo that. But that's how you remove the background in Canva. Now, if I look for, so here's a picture of me. Lovely me. And these white lines, so as I've been showing you, you can resize the picture with the corners. These straight lines at the top and bottom, these are crop lines. And so you can crop your photo to be whatever size you want it to be, right? So once we do that, now I can also crop the, or excuse me, not crop, but remove the background on this, and it should leave just me in the foreground with nothing around me, hopefully. There we go. And now when we edit the image and adjust and do fun things, so again, you've got all these filters you could apply. I don't think I need a filter, so I'm going to undo that. But they have all of these different things you can do. So you get shadow, and so this is a glow shadow. Now I can increase, so when you see people with the lines around them, we can increase this shadow. I'm going to do it, really big for right now. We don't want it transparent, so we can make it more transparent if we want, but I don't want it transparent at all. And I can make it white, and I'm going to make the background different in a second. I'm going to unblur it. I'm going to hit apply. Let's change the background. Let's make the background, I don't know, so make the background gray. And you see how now I've got that outline around myself. Now I can go back and adjust that some more, edit image, and if I decided that the glow wasn't quite, well, I think it's adding another glow, so we don't want to add another glow. How do I edit the glow that was on there before? I think I would have to have done it before. So let me delete myself here. And I'm going to crop myself down. There we are. And remove the background. There I am. And then come over here down to the shadows. I'm going to hit glow. And I'm going to click on that again to adjust it. I'm going to get rid of the blur. I'm going to make it completely solid, not transparent. I'm going to bump up the size, and I'm going to make it white because that's how I'm going to highlight myself here. And then I can drop this into whatever background I want, right? So if I'm doing a YouTube thumbnail, I can resize this to be the YouTube thumbnail size, right? So they've got video, presentation, Facebook post. Again, you can just resize it automatically to whatever it is that you are working on. So I'm gonna do video. I'm just gonna resize it like that because I think the thumbnail is probably about the same size as the video. There we are. And then I can make this, let's make this a more fun background. Let's make it green, and I'm going to drop an element in here. I'm actually trying to think about things that I can do with my backgrounds that are a little bit more fun. Not my backgrounds, excuse me, with my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So I'm trying to come up with different things, but let's see all of the lines and shapes here. And I kind of want, I think I want a starburst of some sort because I saw something recently that I wanted to try to recreate. What happens if we look for starburst? What do we get here? Ooh, look how fun that is. What if we made that the background? That's a little busy though for me, so I don't know. I don't know. We could probably recolor it, but let's do this one, I think. All right, I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to send this backwards. I only want to send it backward. If I send it to the back, then it'll go behind everything. So I just want it sent backwards. And let's see what happens. What can we do to edit this image? Use. See what happens if it's trippy. Kind of fun. All these different things that you can do with it. Ooh, radiate. And we can change the amount. How fun is that? And the angle. So you can change the way that it's positioned in here. I don't know if I want trippy though. Let's see. I don't think I want that. So let's undo. And screen is your shortcut to retro style. Oh, so we can put these fun things on it. What do you think of that? All different things that you can do with this. Aha. Let's adjust this. That's kind of fun. And then, yep, okay, so it's still behind there. And I'm gonna pull it this way. Just to have a little fun with it here. Make it a little bit wider. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a rectangle. I'm going to make it the same size as this, okay? And just bear with me for a second here as I figure out what I'm doing. But I am going to make this semi-transparent. And I'm going to move it backward. Whoop. There we go. What do you think of that? So the background is there still, but it's not as harsh, right? And now I can put whatever I want on top of here. Let's add some text. Now, if you add a heading, it will automatically set it at a certain font size. You can also add a subheading, which is going to make that a little bit smaller than your heading was. There's a little bit of body text that you can add as well. But I'm just going to add my heading for right now. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here, and I can position this wherever I want. And they've got these little turny things, so you can adjust it that way too. Okay, now they also have all of these fun sets, I'm going to call them, of fonts that you can edit as well. So delete my heading, love and joy from the Millers. So again, you can do anything you want with these. I'm going to put this on an angle, and then I can actually, I'm going to right click, and I am going to ungroup this because they're all connected right now, but now I've ungrouped them and I can move them around and I can adjust them separately. Love and joy. Do what makes your heart happy. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Bring it down. I can bump this up if I want. I can also change the font color. There you go. And I think it actually shows you, it does. So if you want to be able to pull a color that's actually already in your design. So this blue is great, but it's not necessarily the same blue as in my shirt. But if you look over here on the left, you can see my little picture here, and these are the primary colors that are in that photo. So if you want to make sure that your text is matching up with one of the colors that is already present in your photo, if you'd like to be matchy-matchy like that, then you can certainly select it that way. And so that is how you do some of the basic stuff in Canva. I don't know if this was helpful for you. If it was, please leave me a big thumbs up. If there's something specific that you would like me to teach on Canva, I'd be more than happy to drill down into specifics on different things. I know that I kind of threw a lot of information out at you for this particular video. It was kind of Canva 101. These are some of the basic things that you can do based on some of the things that you might have seen already and wondered, how did they do that? This is how they do it.
Okay, everybody, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. If you found it helpful, please give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. If there's something specific you'd like for me to do a deeper dive on, I'm more than happy to do that, and just leave me a note on that as well. And until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye.